Hi, this is Steve Harper from YourCreativeLife.com, talking today about what professional and non-professional writers in the TV and film space can do during a writer's strike. So a strike, obviously, is a work stoppage in order to help negotiations go well with, in this particular case, the AMPTP, which are the producers who produce the TV shows and films that are out there in the world. And in order for us, the Writers Guild, those of us who are writers, to make an impression upon the Association of Motion Picture and Television Producers about the requests and the demands that we are making, in order to impress them, in order to move the ball along in those discussions, we call a strike, which I voted on and the other members of the Writers Guild voted on, in order to, by a work stoppage, move the ball along and change minds, get those people to agree to some of our requests and demands around the writing life. Now, I'm not going to go into all of those things, but it has come up in many discussions I've had with writers who are both WGA, Writers Guild of America members, and those who are not, the question of what is it that people can do during a strike if you're a writer. So the idea here, and in the umbrella, if you think about it, the umbrella of it all, the idea is that the well should run dry, that no writing should be done, that no producers, those people who we're negotiating with, should receive any new writing from people who are not writing. So for us in the Guild, that means that the show that I was on has stopped writing. We are not going to the writer's room. We are not meeting. We are not discussing scripts. We are not researching scripts. We're not emailing about scripts. There is no work done on the show that I've been on. And that's pretty cut and dried and very simple. So if you're on a show, the writing on those shows have stopped. Now, also, all of the other work that writers do on shows has also stopped. So if you think about it, if you are a writer or a showrunner on a show, you might be not only writing, but rewriting. You might not only be rewriting, but you might be casting. You might be editing episodes. You might be dealing with promotional things. All of that has stopped, because the idea is that with everything a writer does with reference to a show, that writer is actually contributing writing energy and time and thoughts in that space. So if you think about it, if you cast a certain actor in a part, you might be rewriting that part, right? If you deal with editing and you're changing the script in editing, that's basically rewriting. All of those things are things that contribute to writing. And so none of those things are happening for any show in that has a WGA contract, any show, any film. There are instances where those shows that you hear about that are still in production are in production, but there's no writer on set doing any of those things. And that's the kind of work stoppage that the WGA has called for. Now, so that's for WGA stuff. In addition, if you've been developing projects, I've got a project I've been developing, that means working with a producer or a production company on a particular project, all of that has stopped too. So there are no notes, there's no development, there's no ideas, there's no meetings with those people as part of this work stoppage, as the idea of having the well run dry. So that is the touchstone. And none of those things, no tweaks on whatever pitch decks or pitch documents or any of that stuff is allowed to happen during a strike. Pretty simple stuff. Step away from all writing that deals with producers, step away from all writing that deals with ongoing projects, step away from all writing that deals with future projects. Pretty straightforward. And step away from all ancillary things that contribute to shows that we might be on. So we've walked away from all of that. Now, the question may be for you, if you're not in the Writers Guild of America, what does this mean for you? If you're not on a show, can you still work on stuff and blah, blah, blah? The ideas are pretty similar, because if you think about it, if we who are in the WGA have walked away from stuff, and a non-union writer comes in and starts working with producers, that person is basically crossing the picket line and scabbing, offering work, offering writing work, because the union writers are not doing it. So all of that is also off limits. No writer who is not in the Writers Guild can step in and do that kind of work. And so that's a very important rule. Now, at the same time, anything that deals with producers, people who are signatory to the WGA contract, is also forbidden. And that means that you cannot enter, any sort of contest or class program or program that is created by those people who produce television. So many of those diversity programs or writers programs that are created by the studios, those that had deadlines before May 1st, when the contract ended, people were able to enter those. But those who have deadlines after, many of those actually programs have been changed and canceled. Those are not allowed. You're not allowed as a non-union writer to submit material to people who are producing stuff. Even if it's a program, an educational experience, it's not allowed. It basically is tantamount to a writer going to a production entity and working with them and exchanging writing, and that is not allowed. And if you're interested in being part of the Writers Guild in the future, these are the same rules that you should observe. You can, however, if you want, meet with an agent or a manager, as long as those people are sworn not to market you to other entities. Now, there are some people sort of in the purest sense who say we shouldn't even meet with agents and managers, but really that is allowed. We're allowed to do that. They're not allowed to market us to other spaces. And the rule generally goes that we are also not allowed to bring brand new material to those people, even though they are not producers, because again, we want the well to run dry, that no new creations, no new writing. I can do new writing for myself here at home. I can work on something for myself by myself that's not connected to any space. But giving those things also to reps is something that the union has asked us not to do. So those are generally the do's and don'ts. I hope that makes sense. Please leave any questions you may have in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to answer them and try to put some links to explain some of these things below there as well. Like and subscribe, like this video, subscribe to this channel. Check out all of the juicy goodness at yourcreativelife.com, where you can sign up for my monthly newsletter all about the writing life. You can find a link to this YouTube channel. You can also subscribe to my newsletter. I just said that. But you can also find out information about my podcast, which is called The Secret Writer Podcast. Me and Nick Job talk about all things writing, and the first season is out there on Apple Podcasts and other podcasting platforms, and season 2 is coming soon. So I hope you enjoy your writing life, even during a strike. Work on stuff for yourself and know what the rules are and what the rules aren't. And I'll see you next time.